Well, first of all, thanks, Colonel Campbell. That was great info. I liked what you said about, you need to go to people that have the autonomy to make things happen. And I don't know about you, Grit, but Mariska Hargitay is definitely at least a little bit of the reason why I'm a cop now. So, anyways, I'm Officer Emily Nelson, and this is Detective Grit Caton, as you can tell by our lovely wallpaper with Mesa PD. With today's prompt being communities of practice, we wanted to talk a little bit about the things that our department has done to be successful with this initiative, or make the steps to be successful. One of the things that we did recently that was really important was the fifth annual Women's Leadership Symposium series, which Grit did a wonderful job with planning. It was a lunch that our sworn professionals and our professional staff, oh, by the way, we're joined today by Minnie Salas and Tara Hall, who set us up. We're not going to turn the camera and show them because who knows if we'll get it back. So, but anyways, this was a luncheon where our command staff, our sworn professionals, and our professional staff had the opportunity to come enjoy and get supported and get some good training. So, Grit, tell us about it. You did a wonderful job.
It was our fifth one. I participated, and I think I just have missed one, and I think I was out of town. But I feel like me personally, I got always something out of it. This fifth one, I was very fortunate that I was able to participate and be part of the planning from the very beginning till the end. Like Emily said, the difference on this series was that we did invite command staff and our male officers, and just made a point that it's open to everybody on our police department, and even our professional staff was always invited also. But we just wanted it to be known that this is not just for women. I think it's growing slow, every year it's getting better and better. I've been on for 15 years, Emily.
Been on for 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, brand new.
So I think it's important that, that our young female officers, or even our young male officers, that our males that do support our females, but just to get it introduced to them and just have them, recognize that just building these relationships are very important, working relationships. And even you hear leadership and thinking, I just started just now their career. It doesn't mean that they're ready to promote, but it's something that you're going to take with you and have an understanding on how your department is, where you just get that knowledge, and you can carry that, and you can carry it with your peers and share that information with your peers. Exactly. One thing that I did want to point out, we did have over 100 participants, but we even shared it and opened it up to other agencies, our sister agencies, to, a lot of us, in the academy, we have other agencies, yes, and that we have already sisters and brothers, like relationships already built, and to continue our sister agencies to be part of that also.
Talk about your highlighted guests.
I do want to point out one thing that did stand out for me personally, also I think Emily too. Yes. Our panel was full of
the wonderful ladies of LaPoa.
Amazing women, yes, from LA. Lieutenant Rodriguez, Lieutenant Apolito, Commander Flores, and Assistant Chief Integrities. They were just them being there and presenting the information that they provided as far as preparing for any interviews that are coming up, or just the preparation part.
Yeah.
But a big shout out to them. I know you want to add a little bit as
that part. I mean, for me, this was the first event I had the opportunity to attend, and Leadership Symposium. I had no idea what that meant. I knew there was going to be lunch, which was great, but I walked away with so much more. The panel with LaPoa was incredible. They literally sat us all down and walked us through how to ace the sergeant's exam. And not all of us aspire to be sergeants, but that same information on doing well in an oral board setting can be used for whatever aspirations that our younger or seasoned officers have. I mean, I have classmates that want to go to street crimes. I'm not going to street crimes, but but anyways, and what was important was that training was tailored to women. Assistant Chief Tangarides literally said something to the effect of like, you need to walk into that interview like you are Beyonce. And she's, she spoke our language. LT Rodriguez, she said a lot of things that a lot of us needed to hear. When it's time for an oral board, it's not the time to talk about, well, we did this. No, I did this. I was successful in doing this. And I think another thing that she said that really spoke to me and that a lot of younger ladies need to hear is you walk into that room with the perfect score, and it's your job to keep it and show what you got. So yeah, it was just a great environment to get that training that was specifically for women. I'll use it to help my peers, male and female. One of the challenges with things like this is, of course, getting your peers to come along and understand the importance, and sometimes that takes some arm twisting. But at the end of the day, I did sit through that great training. I have the presentation, and when it's time for the ladies that I went to the academy with to test for sergeant or test for street crimes or whatever they do want to do, I have that training to help them and do that mock oral board and all that good stuff. Aside from the training, it was just a really great environment for creating, that support and mentorship. I had a great opportunity to talk to Commander Daravan, who I've looked up to since she taught us in the academy. So it was a great
Yeah,
lunch.
we had strong women leadership for sure. We had Assistant Chief Gina Nesbitt also there. And then we had our city council members
And our
there.
male
For sure, our
staff.
male staff for sure. Just seeing that support, I think, made a big difference. And I did want to bring something up also, the importance of building those relationships, even though that they're not in their department, you're making, building those relationships with other outside agencies. Lieutenant Rodriguez and Lieutenant Appolito, kudos to you. They made extra time outside of this symposium to kind of give me guidance and critique me as far as to prepare me for the sergeant testing. So I told them when I first met them, they asked me straightforward, like, what's your plans? Like, what are you? And I explained to them, well, I only have 15, I already have almost 15 years. I'm probably gonna just finish out my career at 20 and just leave. And that's when they were my inspiration as to move forward and promote. And they made a big impact and a big influence, just their command presence.
Yeah. And it's important for each agency to have those department sponsored events to inspire all of our female staff, sworn and professional, regardless of how much time they have on. I think about 30 by 30 and creating that community of practice and how women can, and I only say this because when I was in the academy, there were a lot of young boys. So we had 20, 21, 22-year-old guys. I was the youngest female and I was 24. And if I had a presentation or some sort of initiative where I saw a young female officer doing what I had always hoped to do, I probably wouldn't have waited so long to get into this career. And I think these department-sponsored events do the same thing. For us younger officers that maybe have never even thought about promoting, seeing female command staff and ladies that have walked the walk and talked the talk, and them showing us how they were successful, just creates that ability for us to go further. And regardless of, like, you're on 15 years and you're getting it done, so it's awesome.
Yeah, I think, and it's important that that we continue these symposiums, just because the more we bring it out and introduce it, eventually we'll get somebody, we'll catch somebody's eye. But we have another one coming up in a few months, so we pretty much hold like 2 a year, approximately. And if we have time, we'll throw a third one in there. But I think just it is important that we do introduce them and expose them to
Yeah.
our department. For
In
sure.
our department, not only do we have those sponsored events for those of us that are already with Mesa PD, but we do stuff to connect with the community, especially those young ladies that this might be a career that they're interested in doing. I had the pleasure of attending the Aspire Academy. I think that a couple of agencies have been hosting that event. For those of you that don't know, it's a whole weekend for young ladies, high school age ladies, to do firefighting and police activities all weekend, and seeing those lady cops, those lady firefighters that look like them, act like them, and are successful in their careers. And if I had something like that, I can't tell that.
Yeah, we have good feedback on that. That
Yeah.
actually
That was incredible.
That was introduced to us from Tucson, and we brought it on and with Mesa Fire and Mesa PD, and I don't even know how many years we've had it here. It's been a few years, but it's been a great outcome. And like I said, it's just mentoring when they're young, starting them young.
And one of the hurdles to getting involved with these types of things can be combated at the command staff level, because the issue is, there's calls on the board. We're all in a recruiting crisis, and it's tough to send us to a bunch of trainings, but I feel like at Mesa, our command staff and our sergeants and lieutenants, they understand the value of 30 by 30 and the value of connecting with the community and these types of events. So I can't think of a time where I went to my sergeant like, hey, I really want to go do the Aspire Academy this week. Is it okay if I take a patrol spot off the street? It's never been like, oh, there's no guilt to it. It's like, yeah, go build yourself, make things better and make things happen. So, but that starts at the higher levels, which our department has done a really good job with. So
I agree. Just having that support.
yeah.
Minnie, Tara, is there anything you guys want to add?
Great job.
But I think we just wanted to express I feel like we've had a great outcome with having these the women leadership symposiums. We're going to continue them. We have the support to continue them. So eventually hopefully we'll get those females, because a lot of the younger but the younger officers are so focused on just going to work, getting their mandatory training, and not setting goals and find out what their purpose is, and getting to setting those goals ahead of time. But that's our feedback on that. I'm not sure if you guys have any questions as far as what's worked for us and what hasn't. Feel free to reach out.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.